Muri bulungi. Paul, Emerson, Barak, Andrew Okuni, Abi, King Katz, Aselam Isaac, Tibita. I hope you guys are doing well. Mulimutia. Starting today, Katindeta Police Ndala. You people that have decided to not watch my YouTube videos to understand, to not come to Question Friday to ask your questions. Nze bulongubire simu kumbuza ebintu bye nali njogedeko ku YouTube channel yange. You pay 50,000 consultation starting today. Yesterday I got about 5 phone calls and they're asking me things that I've always been saying on this channel. Oli nakubira nakubuuza, is the corona like yours reliable? That person should pay me. Anyway, how are you? Amayo, Mr. Starch, Obadobuzi, how are you guys? Kajamu kayitirivu mu kibuga. If you haven't, Lemon Solomon, good morning. If you haven't set off from home, just know you're going to find jam. Feine kube iri afite kuba mu taxi mukira ziri mu nganya baduse jam. Ye jam mu yitirivu today. Atumanya Rupert Obadobuzi, how are you? So, starting today, I'm also introducing consultation over the phone. I'm no longer doing free consultations on the phone. Why? You can ask me questions during the live broadcast. There are also people here that answer questions. There are people that know things that would answer your questions. Second, we have a day that is dedicated to questions. We have a Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, right? That day is dedicated to questions. If you have questions that you would like to ask, come tomorrow and ask all questions. Now, majority of the questions that the people ask me when they call me on the phone, I have answered in past videos. I have answered. One maker, Umugagaze. Azoko wale. Wangambye wezo obw'omutwalo sente zange nezi wawula ogenda okugira obundazi nga tebuwera. Antonio, Innocent, King Daniels, good morning. Basasule banange, starting today, if you call me to consult on anything, chenalizizeeko ku YouTube channel. Buli ekibuuzo kyonna gwe kasita omanya nti byenjogerako ku YouTube channel and you call me to ask questions, my consultation is 50. Era bwe batonankubira simu kumbuza kintu kyonna ku simu, soko teeke emitwalo 5 ku simu yange. That's something I've resolved to do because I get a lot of phone calls and people are asking me questions I've already answered here. There are things, for example, that I talk about every day on this broadcast. For example, I talk about my Corolla every day. Yesterday, someone called me 3 times and I made ndiku performance nyina show manyenda kuzino nyina show zange gaya ankubire mirundi 3 nayenga bululwa ankubira ambuza kimu njagala gula Corolla yange ye inabizibuki ebizibu bya Corolla yange byo namba dembi ogera byonna byembadde nfuna mbadde mbyogera kuki ku broadcast eno kakati ate omuntu nabeerera nakubira nga akubuza ebizibu bya Corolla yo. Nenga ate almost every day you're seated in the corner, you're telling people lero yakoze kiri. Just watch the videos. At least infunaka sente ka YouTube ako. Nebo bana aka YouTube toyagala nkafune katiteke 5 ku simu yange. Today we are talking about the newer that we bought. Bobompa. Ye otekemu ontere ne sumbusa zabiri zona sente kanze kulekere. Mungu yali nsasula. Kale nene sumbusa nazo zintu obundazi njala obundazi muwagira nene abantu bange bafuna mu kubabalya ne batandika olunaku nga they have energy. Choose a camera, I want to see the children. Which children? The children they don't tell you. Children they don't tell you. Tusanze za either turn again or against them. Tegereza. Ani Antonio Omugaga omanyi kyenalabye mu nsi muno buli muntu alina waajogera kati nze nange kubundaazi sisoboka era bwe nzija njogera nga binojjo. Good morning Cosmas, but the daily bundas and samosas isn't healthy. Doctor I don't know Dr. Gamba, they are not healthy. They are like a green green. But what is happening is I have a team of about 20 people on set Jendaga. So better go take a yenkokoto. You're going to work really hard. So tuina kulia ngano. Huh? Clip. We shall be healthy next time. You have to be healthy every day. Every service should be paid. Some people can choose phone call to avoid nabalabidde ddala waliwo omuntu akubira nga agezaako ku avoiding a pre-purchase inspection. Sikyabyagala kati. Sikyabyagalira ddala kati. Olina kubira and you know the funny thing about people that want free things that are not supposed to be free. Asooka nakubira nakumalira obudde nga bwakuwaana. Atajebaleko muganda wange oli muntu w'amaanyi nnyo, oli w'amaanyi nnyo. Omanyi nina kukundi ku TikTok nendaba nga byogera mu butuufu by'amagezi ate ku YouTube wayitirira. Jebaleka abaana bali batya. Musajja gwe oli mulungi nnyo n'amala eddakiika emu ng'akuwaana. Kati wamaana kakati mukama wange anti mbadde nyina akamalo kabanguza wano nga njagala kukagula. Nkoze ntya? No mugamba, but you cannot buy a car without pre-purchase inspection. Get a mechanic to inspect. Nagamba nti olina ebintu by'otugamba wano kwegamba n'omuntu gwagala ogenda ne pre-purchase inspection tamwesiga okitegeera. Ata I want to try bundazi mavo gadget omanyiwe buli Kisota road obundazi buli awo. So abawana abo abantu abagala free advice that they are supposed to pay for. And by the way, I will tell you, since we are talking about the newer story, Dr. Jonathan is saying, bagulire healthy snacks, nuts, cashew nuts. Cashew nuts so zimanyi Dr. Jonathan. Doctor, nagende wono guy ono bamwitani Timex Nutrition Center some time back. There is a time I had gained weight. Mwangamba when I didn't have no rubuto. So I went to Timex Nutrition Center. Your guy called it blood type diet. So they gave me my blood type diet. I'm supposed to eat cashew nuts. So I thought when they said cashew nuts, 200 grams za mtwalo kumune ekitundu oba ningamba afaaji. Bangano okulya ennyanya, bangano okulya butto, bangano okulya almost the basic things that we eat in Uganda, bangano okubirya. Ningamba we only live once. Nimbivaako. Kakati Dr. Jonathan ngamangulira abantu cashew nuts, abantu 20 bagulire cashew nuts. Eggs, fruits nvaako, watermelon. Dr. Jonathan. Bwetudda mu byammwe. Tuyinza obutalya kati gwe wanonze nguze watermelon emu yakanaana. Emmere eri healthy ya bbeeyi. Kati watermelon emu yakanaana. Esobola olisadde abantu ku bantu bange nga engeri gye bakolamu watermelon esobola olisadde abantu abataano. Good morning JK Paul, but still I need more knowledge on catalytic converter. The catalytic converter cleans the exhaust air before it goes into the environment. That's what it does. Hey, JK, go engineer. What does the catalytic converter do in the layman's language? Hello, Luzungu olungi JK. Layman, mweba guy. Kansoke newane. Ndabirwamu nzigadde. Ntaddemu esi. Anani aliwo yangamba ogula kiri kinnanka kifaani. Mwina kye muwulira bannange mmwe buli kintu kyokola ku mmotoka kigizza obupya. Ntaddemu esi naye toyinza kumanya nti ntaddemu esi. Mmotoka yazze bupya. Faani erina engeri gy'esirika bw'eti. Okwewaana kuwedde katudde ku mulamu. Naye weewaanamu katono kate. Wano wendira esi sigyetaaga just imagine the faani. Faani nagikoze. Eri yavemesanga live broadcast. Ngoteekako kato kati ne butuka waggulu. Good morning, Benjako. Kisota Road where they were shooting. Exactly that spot where bakubira katumba amana amasasi. Kama katumba amasasi. I loved Sumbi since I was a child, even as an adult. Sumbusa zilikate. Then Dr. Jonathan gotomaina chukira. All the sweet things are not healthy. Sweets. My son even knows that sweets are not good for you, but he still wants them. My son knows that soda is not healthy for you, but he wants soda.
In a combination primary. Chapati. Nesumbusa.
Chapati okisamo sumbusa nozinga. Waliwo omwana yagatanga eggi mu chapati naye nga baba kyatukola mu kirasi. Good morning, menu. Let them. Nze nava ku nutritionist. Kuba bakulemesa okulya. Just eat anything you want in moderation. Era nze bwenkola nze kasitanziruka. I make sure I run. Kati maze wisingiringa sidduka. Dr. Kasenene is about to tell us to hear ebisagazi. Toyota Rumion, talk about it. So Toyota Rumion is a good box. Chimoroka chirungi chibox chiri awo. You buy, if you want performance, you buy the 1.8 liter version. If you want normal driving, you want the 1.5 liter. Which segera chimoze. Hope you guys are doing well. So today, from stay on nunje nabika bulungi moroka te erabika comfort atandikira mu ogwo omwaka giri emyaka emikadda. They are not comfortable. These ones are comfortable. Chapati wakati notekawo muogo n'ebintu. Ate Antonio nawe nedda. Antonio nedda. Gwe nokwata chapati notekamu muogo. Ate mwenga mukisusiza. Ata still way. Yes, we are going. I'm sharing the newer story now. Gwe. Antonio. Gwe, how did you eat muogo and chapati? Dr. Jonathan, do you hear our people? This guy put muogo in a chapati. Nedda. That is too much. Anyway, I told you, they advised me to swallow paper. Ono guy yagamba omireka amulali. Sebo after. Iba nkokoto kabaka mugo webizali ne chapati. Mama. Owochi susizamu. Those guys who call you at last hour when they are about to make mistakes in car buying process should be 500 people. But by the way, next year ngenda kubanza Suzankaga kati mvudde yeyo. I've realized I'm saving people. It's after these guys can story ya nuwa Antonio anywera ko obuji bananga ate boyo muogo chapati porridge yeah ensonga ya water just sit near the dispenser. Anyway, tunyume story ya nuwa. So the Noah story happens that the person that the couple that was buying, I think it's the lady that knew me from YouTube. The guy did not know me. So they collect their money together. The lady was, I think, in China or Dubai or something like that. The guy was in Kampala. And so when she comes back, they collect money and they go. It's the Noah that we forward. So they go the day before and they even deposit 1 million on the car. Now I think afterwards, the lady convinces the guy that, but hey, why don't you call Arthur? It was actually over convincing. He charges money, but you call him, he will help us. So the guy calls me and straight away he starts bargaining. Actually he calls me first. We agree on going to do pre-purchase inspection. He tells me I have this Noah. Before I even ask for money, I tell him, but it's a very bad thing for you to have only one car. For you to see one car and pay for that straight away, it's a very bad thing. It's important that you see at least 5 options. And he says, but I don't have the options. My broker took me to one car. Then he doesn't tell me that they paid money on that car. So he calls me the morning when they paid the 1 million yesterday. So after he calls me, he said, but can you come? That's the day we were putting my engine in the car. So afterwards I said, but this guy will waste my time when he doesn't know that I charge. So I call him back and he said, you know that I charge 400,000 for pre-purchase inspection. He says, hey, but that's a lot of money. Why not 200? And I tell him, if you cannot afford 400,000, you get a mechanic, get a normal mechanic and go with them. They will they will do what? They will do the inspection for you. But for me, if you want 400,000, because I come with the mechanic and I switch off. So after an hour, I think, of back and forth with the wife, he called me back and he said, "Kare katinzina jangu." I tell him, but I'm busy right now. So what? Even for me to just move from what I'm doing, you put money on my phone. You just put 50K. When I come to you, give me the balance. And then he doesn't call again. After an hour, I see 50,000 on my phone. He goes, and at this time we had put my engine together, and we were ready to put it in the car. Now the lady that sold us the engine was seated there, so I told my mechanic, you know what? You know, the lady be there. Let's go. I'm spending money here. The other person is giving me money. Let's go make that car money and then come back. So we drove. We found these guys in Kawempe. The car was in Maganjo, for the guys that know Bombo Road. So we find them at Chisera supermarket. And the moment they sit in the car, they tell us, "Now, yeah, the car we are going to see, we paid 1 million." And I asked them, "But you guys, I tell you constantly, don't pay money if you're not taking the car." Say, "Auntie, the broker told us this car has demand. If we don't pay 1 million, people are going to take it." That's exactly what brokers do. But I think it's because the guy wasn't listening to the woman. He wasn't at that moment. So I think for him, he was listening to the broker. So, you guys, I think one lesson that we need to learn is we need to learn to listen to our women. If you have a woman and you decide that you have committed to this woman, learn to listen to her. If you say they know, they have that other feeling. Me, there are times that my wife has told me things and I ignore them. Then in the end, it was true. So anyway, we sit in the car. They tell us we paid 1 million, bichi, and I asked for the agreement, and the agreement was clear. These people have bought a car and they have deposited 1 million. They are bringing the balance tomorrow. So the tomorrow they are supposed to bring the balance is when they call me to go do pre-purchase inspection. So I tell them we're going to do pre-purchase inspection, but I want it to be clear that you guys bought this. You bought this car already. So if they give you any money back, you will be lucky, because your agreement says today you're going back to take balance. We say, okay, let's go to the car. So we get to the car, and the owner of the car hasn't come yet. So, but we cannot touch, according to the agreement, we are not allowed to touch the car or even get near to it until the other person comes. So we wait for that person and the broker that got them the car, and they come. So when they come, of course we check, and the engine was okay. Of course the car had accidents, but I've told you time and again that accidents are okay, as long as it doesn't damage the chassis. Chassis. As long as it doesn't damage the chassis. We check, and I tell them move game, because I don't do verification before we drive the car. It's okay. Verification. So when we did verification, the logbook says the car is supposed to be maroon. The car was white. The logbook says the car is supposed to be maroon. The car was white. That's something that is serious. And it wasn't like this car was repainted. This car wasn't repainted. So this car was actually white. Not repainted from maroon to white. So there are two scenarios to this. Before we saw the other things, actually, 2 scenarios to this. Either they picked up a logbook of another car and put it on this car, or okay, what's the other scenario? Scenario number 1 is they get a logbook of another car and number plate of another car and put it on this car. And that means either the car did not have a logbook and number plates, because this can be done by anyone. You can go to Chewa Ise and buy number plates and a logbook, which take it. That's the first thing. But later on, we tried to Kayana, because afterwards when we did verification, so I called the person in the logbook and tell them I'm buying the new one, this number and this number. Will you be able to do transfer for me? And the guy says, and this for me, normally that's a red flag, because that has never happened to me. You reach this swing, so we tell these guys, I tell you, it had a police receipts of 900,000, which wasn't an issue, because they had agreed that the 900,000 will be deducted from the money these people are paying. So that wasn't really an issue. That's okay. Never go to the cassava watch it. The biggest problem is we find the cabs there. So mostly if you are above 30 years, otherwise keep up the good work. I mean, Dr. Jonathan, I need to have you on my podcast. Just to so me say mu. Nzajagala nya abantu kati ate kati jekendo za jeke kubaye jeke munene. Jeke yetaga refined cabs as vehicle. Oli the jeke kati go inakulya newe wamu wali yo muogo. Wamwe bulaya mwina muogo mwe. Kati jeke mwate mlaika mulya refined food zizoka. Nebo liba toke liba mwe episo. Buli kimu. Good morning, Sarah Favor. Arthur, I have a Kenyan friend who wants a Toyota Axio from Uganda, and then he will drive it back to Kenya. Can you help him? I'm here, of course, at a fee. Me, I have never chased money. Mr. Arthur, can a person change engine of 2000cc to 1.5? If the engine fits properly, gearbox, why not? Of course you can. Many Ugandans are still ignorant and they feel shy to ask or consult from platforms like this. But in Uganda, it's very difficult now to buy a vehicle without pre-purchase inspection. True. Good morning, Blair. So let's continue the story. Hey, we have called the person in the logbook, and they say, hey, we will call you later. So let me take you back. The broker that brought these guys to the car says he called the person in the logbook yesterday and he agreed to do transfer for them. So after calling this person, and the person says, I cannot call you, I cannot talk to you now, I'm busy. I tell the broker, can you call this person back since he knows you? The broker refuses. So I tell the person that is selling us the car, because he says the person in the logbook is the one that sold him the car. I tell him, you call the person in the logbook, because that person remembers you. The person refuses to call. You get it? And then because of course we have the red flag of the color change, and not that it was respray. This car was white. We are actually supposed to look at either a maroon car or a car that has maroon parts in the inside, at least in the inside the door or inside the here in the panels, but everywhere was white. So it means this car was actually white. So this person refuses to call the person in the logbook. So and these guys, the car was okay for their price. So because they were paying 9 million and it was okay. So and I tell them this car would go if the transfer process is okay, but the transfer process is not okay. So I gave this guy 3 options. Okay, let's keep 1 million, and when we get transfer forms, we'll give you the balance. So you go to the person in the logbook, full me the transfer form, bring the transfer forms to us, we give you the balance 1 million. He refused. I give him another option. The second option was, let's park the car here. Okay? When you get transfer forms, we come and give you your balance, and we take the car. He refuses. So we gave him all the options. We gave him 3 options. The third option was that we pay all the money. Okay? The third option was we pay all the money. The third option was that we pay all the money. We keep 1 million. This person still keeps the car. Okay? And when we come for the car, we give them 1 million, and we take after we get the transfer forms. He refused all the 3 options. Kakati, normally it's one thing. If a person refuses all the options that are meant to make life easier for both parties, for me that's a red flag. And then we told him, oh, the last option was give us our money back and we go. He refused all the options. So we sit. So tuba tukyali awo guy aganye okuleta sente tagala kuzireta, and of course he was saying mwampadde sente nawadde kodda aba broke emitwalo 2 million gye mwampadde. Of course I wasn't there for me. So this guy is saying they gave me 1 million, I already paid brokers, so I can't give them the entire 1 million. Wembamba wamba waye emitwalo 8. The guy that paid the money started saying, no, I want my entire 1 million. This guy was saying, I want my entire 1 million. Kakati, we were stuck there. And then we were standing there. Then we realized these cars number plates were also changed. You know, for the guys that have seen cars behind, there are cars that have rear number plates that are long, rectangle, right? And then there are cars that have square. That Sienna has a square, the Mercedes-Benz has a rectangle. So for the guys that know, there are 2 number plates. The original number plate was square, like square like that. It was square. It even made marks a square number plate. Okay? But now the number plate that was on that car was rectangle. Now these are things that we realize that when I saw that you die. Then I told this guy, I know you like this car. Probably the reason why you're refusing to get the 800 is because you want the car. But if you buy this car, I'm not part of it. Because you may get trouble. First of all, the person that is selling you the car says he bought it from the logbook owner and he's refusing to call the other person. Why? He's also refusing to even keep the car and finish transfer for you. Why? Why would you refuse to keep the car and get transfer funds from people if the car is genuine? So he was refusing all the options. So buying is expensive. So I went to the lady and told her, you know what? What is the million of when I'm saying because if you are a found in a white car, when the logbook says maroon, definitely that car is taken. You make a loss. You cannot even claim it. For you guys that have gone to Ministry of Works, Ministry of Works, what do you are where you got for transfer of cars? You've seen the cars that are parked there. You think they're parked there for what? Those are the cars that have been found with things that don't match, like colors, wrong engine numbers and all that. So I tell this lady, you know what? This person is accepting to give you back 800,000 from your 1 million deposit. Accept to lose 200,000 other than losing 9 million. The only other option he's giving you is you pay the money and take the car. What would you do? So the lady Nagamba, you talk to my mister. I think so I went and talked to the guy. So guy nakiriza, and I went and talked to this guy. So he went. Ati abata nafuruma. Ate ne bagala okuddusawe emmotoka. Okitegeera. Ata commotion nayo nojja. And remember this guy works nearby. He's a mechanic. So ba mechanic ne bajja ne bajula nga bagala nabo kulwana. So the guy went and eventually bought the 800,000. He was quite in the gun. Was in the user munze mwenyini je babadde bakoze the previous day, and we went our separate ways. That was Friday, was it?
Yeah.
Thursday. But no, it was Friday. It was Friday. So because it was Friday, and I also had my engine to work on, and tomorrow was Saturday, I told them, you know what, guys, let's meet again on Monday. You tell your broker to find you other cars. because this is a busy period for me. So Monday, there's another thing I'm going to tell you that you guys need to understand. If you're going to buy a car, buying a car is a full day job. You don't send that's the other weakness that we had with this couple. I think you guys, sometimes when you want to buy a car, it's not as simple as walking into a shop of phones and you pick a phone. Buying a car is a tedious process. I think for them in their mind it was like, oh, we have our money, walk into a place or to a person that has a car, we buy. So every day of the year, even the Monday, we were started at 8 a.m. They came at midday. The good thing is they had talked to their brokers, and their brokers had told them they have like 3 cars. But these brokers didn't have 3 cars, they had 1. So we drive and go to this guy. So we get to this car that they are getting ready to buy, and it so happens that it was 1 car. First, when we got there, the broker told us point blank, so we wait for the car, and the car comes, and we inspect, and the car is okay. They want 9 million. Okay, the car was okay for 9 million. Nayenga did not have 1 seat. Issue. The buyer wants omuto. The people selling are saying omuto teguli iwo. Jitwale nga bweri. Nitumane to kids guy tumgambo manye, since the car is going to do work, it's going to carry stuff, the motor you leave it. We accept. Now the trouble comes at transfer forms still. We tell them, you guys, if the person selling it, because the car was in a company name, it wasn't owned by any individual, it's owned by an estate. I think it's, these people that take over into the other gains. It was a registered company. So we tell them, the eventual company is you know the things of brokers. You come like how you come on this road and the car is parked there and they are telling you to buy it. So I told these guys, you know what, since we are buying a car on the road, you call the person that's transferring and fill him the transfer form. And they say the guy is coming, he's coming. We sit there for 2 hours and the guy is not coming. I tell these guys, you know what, we have done pre-purchase inspection, we have done verification. Okay, let me go do my things. I take a board and go. So mbana akatuka office, my mechanic calls me and he says, you know what, the person transferring has come, but now the brokers want more money. Okay, and I ask how much money? 300,000. Now in my intuition, if the brokers wanted 300,000 and the car was okay, I would pay the 300,000 and take the car. Still this gentleman refused to pay the brokers 300,000. Even when the wife told him, but we said, he refused. Manye bisere mo banga akola math omunyi naye nga math math ngaganye buganyi ukitegeera emitwalo 3 mitono ku moroka eyisenga namu, but he did not pay them the 300,000. They decided to go home. So they went home. The next morning he called other brokers and the brokers took us to another car.
9 million straight.
Exactly. Nenge bisere mba broker nabo bakola oli the person selling refused to give brokers money. So the brokers said, the other person is not giving us money, you give us 300,000 and you buy. And brokers can be very little. Yeah. If they don't get money, you can't sell, they can even kill you. So the next day we went to see another car. And this other car that we went to see, it was parked at a loans facility. This microfinance. The car, it was the newer 2003, 2004, that model. And I think they wanted over 9 million still. But then the brokers had said 10. The car wasn't worth 10 million. You get it? The car wasn't worth 9 million would have passed, but still the car had work to be done. Let's take it. Now, to take it back, the car we saw before, we found it in Bakuri along the road. It was being sold 9 million, but it required like 1 million, 1.5 for repairs and all. But that was still okay because you work on it as you drive. This car that we went to see, it was in Kisasi. The brokers had said 10 million, but the other guys actually wanted 9. And I think it was still negotiable. But the car wasn't worth 10 million. the engine had its own troubles, the wiring had its own troubles and all. Those new model Nuwas, that's normally the problems that you people talk about. The new, it's a wiring issue, which was okay to be solved. Okay, so it just wasn't worth 10 million. And the broker was saying, million, 10 million last price. So he said, no, it doesn't add up. So this broker tells us, I have another Nuwa somewhere. We drive to that place. They knew the budget was 90 million. Then they take us to a car of 12 million. Not even 12, 14. So you know what? I told my mechanic, you know what? Let's call some of the brokers we know. So we called some of the brokers we know, and they take us to cars in Namugongo. The first car we saw was not good at all. I looked at it and I said, no, you can't buy this car even at 5. We walked away. They took us to another car. The car that we actually bought. We went there deep in Bukerere, deep inside. Because normally those are the cars that I encourage people to buy. The cars that are with people, not with brokers. So we drove deep down in Bukerere. We found a car in a parking somewhere there. I think the owner had parked it there. And be done, no tires and all. So the owner, it had receipts of 300,000. The owner said, since you have paying the police receipts. And then we said, but you pay your brokers, because there were like 5 brokers. He said, no, I'll pay my brokers. I don't know what he paid them. So we agreed in the 8 million. And then, yeah, you're right, my agreements are lethal. They are bad. They are bad for the seller. So in my agreements, I always put clauses that protect the buyer. Me, I don't want those agreements that are printed. I write my agreement in hand. So I write my agreement, and then the seller says, and I told him, Kale, you know what, this is to a transfer form. One way to I have my laptop, we can print out. And we make calls. And we make calls. So we make calls, and we call the person in the logbook, and we direct him. And now from your transfer forms, now to where is up email. So now when we get transfer forms, we pay the guy his 8 million, and we drive away. So still the car we bought at 8 million had some work to be done about 1 million. It might not even get to 1 million. But it's better to buy a car at 8 million that has work to be done of 1 million than to buy a car at 9 million or 10 million that still requires work of 1 million. Exactly. That's simple math. So we bought, I don't have pictures. I don't know why this guy didn't send me. I'm going to share the pictures. So twajuze million munana nenge yiwe byokola taina mepida of course they are going to do service and all that, because this person has I think 3 cars, so he wasn't driving this one. So that's the story. So the lady is asking me, naye atakatwachi watuleka ne tukolachi ne twenjere ne mugamba but janga go limugezi nnyo ba broker ne bakuzunza. I even gave them a 3rd day. So but the reason why I gave them the 3rd day, nabadde saagala bagende nga boogera nti afa bichi okitegeera manyi sometimes omuntu asobola okwonona ne brand yo naye nga ate yayeretedde ebizibu byakoze eki byayiseemu. And I had told them, bwetugende ne moroka bwegana muddeyo mugende nakula bimulabo bimoroka eri ekyaliyo mugende mugisasule sigenda genderako kasita nabagambye ekyokukola, because like I had a lot of work to do at my 9 to 5. So eventually we bought that Noah, and this is one thing I want to share. Pre-purchase inspection is important. For the guys that don't know, I'm called Arthur. I help people do pre-purchase inspection to make sure that you get a good car, to make sure that you get at a good price, to make sure that you're not cheated. And for that, currently I still charge 400,000 for only 2 days. Starting the 3rd day, you start paying extra money. And also these people watch service senti na nabalenga tebakola ki ngabambi tebazirina. So I had to try and be fair. Ebimu ku byabadde bakola babadde babikola mu butamanya, sijja ganti babikozeseza fujjo, babadde babikola mu butamanya. So I do pre-purchase inspection, guys. I make sure you get a good car, you get a good price. and I make sure you don't get cheated, you don't get a stolen car and all that. I charge 400,000, I come with a mechanic. Turnaround time, bobo koze nange. Ngokoze mbutufu wabi. I tell you guys, if you're going to buy a car, okay, if you're going to buy a car, you need to, early in the morning, sanga ku office yange sawa meka, 8 a.m. find me at my office. If you're going to go buy a car, and then we start looking. Normally, even when we start at 8, we stop at around 6. Which again, we stop at late in the evening. Second, if you tell me ate morokene nunji njifuna mu sente mekanenzi gamba bambi tompa kanya emu konsonga lwaki twabadde tubona it's because the budget was very low. Okitegeera, the budget was very low. Yes, twagifunye naye era erimu ebyokukola. Emipiira tekwabadde akakadde no kenkugamba tekuli mipiira kuba alina okugula emipiira. Waliwo enzigize balina okukola mu ku wiring, but because that was the money they had, so yeah, you can choose when you're applying for number plates, you can choose the shape that you want. Which again, so eventually chobo manya, when you're going to go buy a car very early in the morning, tandika, it's a job for that day. Secondly, babi neboba totwala neboba totute atha. If a person is going to help you do pre-purchase inspection, give them money. Because you can imagine these people had bought a car that is not in the clear. And I can tell you the next day I went back because Ruth Gaylord. Garage is the opposite. For the guys that know Ruth Gaylord, their garage is opposite Ruth Gaylord. The car was in that. By the next morning, the car was not there. And I went there in the morning very early, 6 a.m. The car wasn't there. Chitegeza na uba ategera the inconsistencies that are with their car. Nebaji jao. Wachitegera. So kati chemuba mumanya chidi chimu. You need to be very, very careful. What we have adamboza muhamanya mutia. Of course, you have to do verification. Wachitegera. Bosoka nokora verification. Awotandikira okumanya ebirala byonna. And I don't do verification ngate tunavuga mu motoka. Tusoka vuga mu motoka. Netukakasante moroka meets all the other aspects, then netukola verification. Ochitegera sente ezo zensaba na ntono. Remember you guys, I was charging 350. Then I realized 350 was very little money. Then I charged 400. Starting next year to go, it's going to be 600. Ochitegera. So that's how we survived. Emoroka gye twaguze mu mwaka ogwo efaanana bwetu gye twaguze million 8. Era ebyokukola but it passes. It passes. We bought that model of the Noah. Ochitegera. Naye model eyo eyannuwa okugifuna mu million 8 ekubaka ebyokukolanga bingi. It's important that you understand. And bugigula ne tugibala ne makaniko wange ne tubala byagenda okukola. Bw'ovuga emmoroka eyo n'ogijje wange n'ogitwala ne bakubba. I don't want you to come back here ogambe atha mwanguze emmotoka n'endya ssente. Era normally when I help people inspect cars, I tell you ogenda kukola kino na kino na kino na kino. Ne bwaba makanika wange nkugamba kino soko okireke togendayo, soko okivuge for this period of time olyoka ogendeyo. Bw'okyusa n'okola byesigambye sente bwe zifulumanga nyingi, I don't want you to come here and complain and say atha twagula emmoroka eno n'entawanya. It has happened to one person. Yagula emmoroka ne mugamba kyabaakola wa iwa makanika wange. Bwe yave wa makanika wange n'agende mu garage endala ne bamubba. Ate afterwards ankubira atha emmoroka endidde sente biki ne mubuuza naye wakolota. Nangamba nti bwe naveeyo wa makanika wo mukwano gwange n'atwalako ewa makanika we ne bankolera kino. Ng'ebintu ebimu bye baamukolera byali bisobola okugulwa cheaper than the price they asked for okukanikamu. Ontegeere kati ng'abamubba bamutamizza emmotoka. If we buy the car and I tell you this and this and this and this is going to be fixed, please stick to that. Once again, it's very important for you to know when you're buying an old car, it will definitely have work to be done. But that work has to be done systematically. Otherwise, ogenda kutandika okukyawa abantu naddala nga muguze emmoroka eza layisi mwabaga emmoroka za layisi. Once again, let me read some comments because now I have to go to work. When is the podcast start? Podcast start in July. Kati nyina shows impuba zigenda kumalako June yenna. But July we start the podcast. Your podcast egenda kuba fire. We are going to be doing fire. Pascal Joseph, good morning. Chris Da Vinci, Original Gospel Church, good morning. Benjamin B, can you choose the shape? Hi Gaetano Arthur, good. Wish mumeka so that I wish nunji jibale million nga 16. And don't be picky about the number plates. Arthur, I always want to download your videos, then watch them while traveling because I move a lot nowadays. But your videos can't download. Are you sure? They can. They should be able to download. It could be that your phone is full or the amount. So you first go and delete the old videos, the videos you downloaded before. It would work. It is easy to get matoke, but very expensive. 6 pieces, 60K. Hey, ngangula chi. So, bagay munzikirize mbasibule. I'm late for a performance and I have to go prepare a lot of things. Paul, Emerson, Andrew Okuni. Guys, don't forget I do pre-purchase inspection Monday to the customer and charge very affordable, 400,000. I come with a mechanic. It covers the fuel to go see the cars. And I will tell you that tukomokura baba brokable on the very first day. But we collect all your cars. Gwezomanye zaba brokable tuzirabe ku lunaku olusooka. Okay? After that, we go to the cars that from the brokers that I know. Why? Babroka bamwe batusumbuwa. Kati you can imagine with the no babroka batusumbuye ne batuzunza tuze nenga emoroka bonga mu sente nyingi ate moroka ezimu ngambi okitegeera. So the second day it's going to be a policy with me. If you don't want to agree with it, I'm kind of requesting you go find someone else to do your pre-purchase inspection. Okitegeera because sagala kuno nnyo budde mukubu. Then ekirala omuntu atasobola keera mbako. Kuba mutusumbuwa otandika okunoonya moroka saawa 5. Onoonya kyekyo gwe oyinaze wagiteresemu moroka ennungi ziri wano bwe ntuuka wano awanganvaawo. Okitegeera. That's the other problem I saw with these guys. Ayagala gye ku saawa 5 mukolere ku pesi Bukenya Abi, King Katz, Isaac, Tibita, Amayo Philiam, Nsereko Starch, Lemon Solomon, Habart, Aniko Kaziwe, Rupert, Innocent, Paul Banalia, King Daniels, Antonio, Salmin, Cosmas Agaba, Dr. Jonathan Chiwanuka. But Dr. Jonathan, please be here tomorrow on the live tomorrow. Tomorrow we have question Friday. People ask questions about anything. So since we have a doctor amongst us now, you guys come and ask questions related to health. Nadala mwabagaininze weight kati ngaje Kenya kubuze doctor nkoze ntyo kusakonga siduse kati ono doctor abamanye ekyo kukolera. So doctor, please be here tomorrow. We have question Friday. People ask questions about anything. Jango bademu Innocent, Clip Films, Mavo Gadget Center, JK of course, Ben Kako, Muonge Richard, Andrew Okuni na kuogedde dda. Philip Emenu, King Daniels, Mansur Hanifa, King Katsi nkogedde, Lucky Moze, Donald Mogisa, Antonio nkogedde, Rupert nkogedde, Sarah Favor, Remy Lewis UG, Aijuka Blair, Oriech Eric, Original Gospel Church, Pascal Joseph, Chris Da Vinci, Bill Gadgets, Uganda, Gaetano, Mbogede, Kasa Music Official, Luima Jimmy, 1KJZ Super Customer, Inzo baya million indoza, Singa 12 ku 15, mwetu ask and be sure, 12 ku 10. Ezo KZ bazi siba. Jimmy, the 1KZ can be overhauled. You just have to find the right person because it's too expensive to buy 12 million, yet you can overhaul for 3. The reason why I normally discourage people from overhauling the small engines is because they're going to overhaul the engine for 800, yet you can buy the engine at 2.5. Which is the engine ya million bin emitwala abiri. Atoko overhauling bajja kujjako million emne emitwala abiri. It doesn't make sense. Okitegera. Come Alan. Kongs 5K banange, but guys, thank you for subscribing. Also, you share this channel with the people you know. Tell them to subscribe. Tugende tuyingire mitwale tuyingire omutwalo gwa subscribers. Vianney. Someone is calling me. I'm going to call them back. Vianney, good morning. Podcast Vianney. Podcast Joje. Banange Vianney has different viewpoints from mine, and I'm thinking it's going to be very interesting on the podcast. You're welcome, guys. Banange, we are 42 people now. 13 likes. You go likes. But thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. Yeah, Checha chembadde njagala okwogera banange nga mwemba siibula temwerabira kumpa customer pre-purchase inspection so that we keep this channel alive. Ezo sente zituyambako okusigala nga tulirayo ate ne ba Urban ne banywa amata okitegeera ba Urban mwagala banywe egro Urban ya graduate I'm going to share a graduation picture. It will be blood a little but it will be there. Yesterday Urban graduated again mu year 1. But he was seated like a big man. He was seated there and afterwards he came and acted for me. He had his first job after graduation and I think I should pay him just signing any contract. Why, daddy, I had my first job after graduation. But anyway guys, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow 7:15. Tomorrow is ask and come and ask questions. Answer. You guys come, I will answer all your questions. These guys here, Alan be there, Gwe Makanika wano, Vianney be there, Innocent, Doctor, Jango berewo, JK, Mujemu berewo. Actually, they don't get a siba kwenda je drink. Kubani kakati otrotu numa. I got home at around 11 p.m. and I woke up at 4 a.m. Katate, we are supposed to sleep. Dr. Sicha Dr. Chiwanuka. Tulina okwebaka naye ennaku zino bwe mbeera nga nyina shows I seebaka bulungi. But you guys, Monday John from Hoima, thank you for being here. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I wish you a very lovely day. Ciao. Kyembadde jalo isawo kikino nkijjukidde. Bonkubira simu okumbuza ebibuuzo bye naddamu edda mu videos zino. Ebibuuzo bye nsobola okuddamu ku live broadcast. Emitwalo 5 soko zisse ku simu za consultation olwokunkubira ombuuza ebibuuzo byo akukimbadde emyabire. Guys, I wish you a very lovely day. Mukama abawo omukisa. Ciao.